Welcome to the Onemanshowoff podcast, the show where we talk about the gray area on gray days. Today we have a guest who's been known to draw lewd tunes. His name is Justin M. Durden. How have you been?
I'm alright, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I've overslept because I stayed up late at night, but that's par for the course for summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, let's get the show started. What made you want to draw, and how long have you been doing it?
Alright, what made me want to draw? What made me want to draw? Lots and lots of cartoons. Mostly, stuff that I watch on Saturday mornings. I would probably say I watched a lot of, Disney's One Saturday Morning and a lot of WB Kids WB.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people say that my style reminds them of a lot of stuff from Kids WB, and it wouldn't really be surprising since that's a lot of what I watch. I wish I watched more Fox Kids. I started drawing around 3 years old, as far as I can remember. My oldest thing that I have on record is about 3 years old. It's this really old comic called Quincy, and it was made on some comic strip paper that was like 3 panels. Well, like it was like from some Garfield comics thing that they don't sell anymore. I know, I've tried to find it, and yeah, I've been drawing pretty much since I was 3 years old. I've been watching a lot of cartoons. Cartoons have been a big influence. Some anime, I guess. I can't really go off my name because I don't really watch a lot of anime, but I've seen like some of it here and there, and when I look at some of the stuff I did when I was younger, and I look at some of the stuff that I do now, I can tell that it's in there, but it's not. I don't know, super prominent, but some people notice it.
Huh. Hey, come to think of it, your style really is reminiscent of Disney afternoon toon Disney stuff.
Because I love it.
Yeah.
I own way too much Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Yeah, all the cool kids love the Toon Disney stuff. Next question: what inspires your style of humor?
Stupid.
Right? Like, I don't know. You got an interesting style of humor that's sort of stupid but smart, and it's just like I don't want to describe it because I
don't praise it. It's all foolishness. That's honestly the best way I can put it. My inspirations for my humor, I guess, once again falls into a lot of TV I watch. Back when I used to watch a lot of TV. I guess one big player in my sense of humor currently is a lot of stuff that I watched on Adult Swim back in the day. I guess it was two of the main things that I can think of off the top of my head that are probably really big are anything that Tim and Eric related. I love those guys. And the show that I highly consider to be one of the greatest shows in terms of writing, Xavier Renegade Angel. The wordplay of that show and everything that goes on in that show, whenever I just watch the show and I pay attention to the visuals because it's a lot of visual humor, but when I just listen to all the writing and all the wordplay and how everything is so perfectly paced,
Yeah.
I still say that that's one of the greatest written shows ever made. People can argue about the way it looks and how they don't like how it looks, but in terms of its writing, it's gold. It's perfect. I love it.
Awesome. I got nothing, but I should see
Oh,
something.
that's fine.
Yeah. So next question. One of your popular original characters is Leia, the bottomlicious robot girl. Okay, let me just. Is it Leah or Leia or?
It's Leia.
Leia, okay, Princess Leia. Leia, yeah, the bottomlicious robot girl. Could you tell us a little about Leia as a character, or do you have any original characters?
I have several original characters, but Leia is the one that took off for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Leia as a character is Leia's a really interesting piece of personal history for me. Her entire existence is based off of some things involving my personal life. I had a crush on a girl for about, I don't know, 2 years, and I noticed something about me was that when I have feelings for somebody, I tend to usually draw them. So there's like I have sketchbooks of in intermediate sketchbooks. I have like pictures of girls that I've liked, and this one girl was a part of my group of friends. She and my group of friends like to always look at my sketchbooks, and one of those things that I don't really like doing is people want to look at my sketchbooks like, oh, who's this person? This looks like, and so to avoid that, I I created another character that went by another name, but Leia's pretty much like the third incarnation of the character that I created, which was based on that girl, which is no longer really based on that girl anymore because a lot of stuff ended up changing. But in terms of I guess Leia herself, Leia is a character that I ended up when I ended up like pulling her away from being the character I drew because, oh man, feelings, to just trying to make something on my own. Leia kind of just sprawled from the fact that I didn't really have a lot of female characters that were just mine.
Huh.
I have characters. I have male characters that have female characters as, side characters, but I don't have anybody that's a female character lead. So that was one of those things that I wanted to do.
Huh.
I like stupid robot arms. I think robot arms are cool because I'm only 12, even though it says I'm 23. I'm only 12. I like robots. I like robot arms. I think all that stuff's really cool. So she has a robot arm. Her hair is inspired by the girl in question because I thought it looked good on her. So I was like, I'll put it on this character, and it looks really nice, and it's stuck that way. And in terms of just in general, yeah. Oh, let me see.
If it's a too personal or too long, then we don't have to go in detail.
Well, it's not necessarily a personal thing.
Oh,
it's just I don't. There's a lot of stuff that I'm just realizing that there's just a lot of things that in terms of character that I haven't really touched on yet. So it's interesting to actually sit and think about it again.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
And maybe you could develop her through some sort of story, like that comic you're doing. Is that her origin, or is it like a secret thing?
Oh, it's her origins. I need to actually go and bother to finish it. I've just been so busy.
Alrighty then. All right. Next question. Have you ever worked on a project with anyone as a sort of artist, storyboarder, designer, etc., or have you been and would rather be freelancing on commissions?
I haven't worked with anybody in terms of storyboarding or anything like that. I used to do some comics back when things were new, the internet was new-ish, and I developed a small group of friends around that time. We used to do some comics. There were Sonic comics. There was I did a Sprite comic. There was a like everybody did. I did there was a comic called Staffers, which wasn't a Sprite comic. It was a thing that was about the staff that worked on the website. It was I don't know if it's still around. EmeraldCoastComics.com was the website. We did some just general Sonic things. We had our own characters that represented us. Some of them were Sonic characters, some of them weren't. Mine wasn't. I had my own little strip that I did called JMD's Nefarious Comic Strips that I think I did like 30 of those, and then I stopped. In terms of working with other people, that's probably the most I've ever done in terms of working with other people. Yeah. In terms of working for myself, I'd really like to do some stuff on my own, but and I'd like to do things with commission. I don't have a problem with doing things on commission because I actually really enjoy doing freelance work. It's all really depending on, just what happens in the future.
I was going to ask you about if you have ever thought about doing a solo project, but then you said that doing your own projects is kind of a bit scarce since you're working all the time.
Yeah, I have some solo stuff. I have three solo things that are in the works right now. One of them is the one that's most prominent, which is Leia related. Uh, a lot of Leia stuff is mostly just in the background right now because I'm trying to put all this stuff together so I can have something coherent that I can put together and actually make a decent story out of. Because I just doing the stuff that I'm doing right now and the loot stuff. I do it. It's enjoyable, but it's also another thing that it's, in terms of I kind of just want to get. I wanted to establish something and get it off the ground and have Leia be a part of her own story because there's actually a lot of things that I have ideas for and want to do. So there's one thing with her. There's a second thing, which is a comic that I have called in that I'm working on called Zero Xero. It involves cactus cowboys. There's a group of four like cactus people, and there's another group of three armadillo girls, which I call the Armadillo Sisters.
Yeah.
Uh, and that's a thing. It's like a western because I love westerns,
Uh-huh.
and that's a thing that I've been working on for probably the past year and a half.
Uh-huh.
And the third thing is a comic that I actually started, I guess, 2 years ago and put on the shelf because of some personal things that came up called 5 Cent Comics. It involves a little cat boy called Scat Cat, my baby, one of my original creations that I have held since second grade and have never let go of.
Oh.
And it takes place in a 1930s, 1940s sort of style with Pac-Man eyes and black and white, and
Uh-huh.
the main character doesn't talk. Everybody else can talk, but he doesn't talk. He speaks through pictures,
Ah.
and those are the main things that I'm working on right now.
All right. Considering your following, I feel like they'll be really happy to see what you've got. They won't be all like, "We demand more Leia bottom," because you're not only a good artist but also a cool person.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't want to patronize you or anything, but yeah, it would be nice to see some more development for Leia because more development for that character makes her even hotter.
Oh man, the people and what they want. I
And,
can't meet everybody's demands. I'm only just one guy living in a place in a house.
yeah, yeah, but if this can make you feel better, they want what you want, so don't pressure yourself.
Uh, I'm trying to get out as much as I can. I'm working as hard as I can
Yeah.
to both maintain myself as a person to where I can keep doing the things that I'm doing, and also work on some of this other stuff with Leia because there's a lot of stuff with Leia that I actually really want to do. So I am going to make sure that I do get on that as soon as I can because there is a lot that I've got in the background that I really want to start pushing out. Hopefully, sometime between now and the end of the year.
All right, I think that concludes our interview for today. Thank you very much for. It was an honor talking with you.
No problem. Thank you for wanting to interview me and my lackluster life.
Yeah, it happens. So we'll end it here, and we'll catch you all later. Take care.
All right.